Previously, I built a command line tool for sending and receiving messages between my two Linux computers. Check out the playlist for the overview and code walkthrough. This time I would like to test the program. If you want to test it on your local machine but don't want to write a line of code, you can download a compile file from my GitHub repository, link in the description. Anyways, on the left hand side is my CLI Linux running through VMware on a Windows 11 laptop. On the right hand side is my Arch Linux laptop. After going to the directory containing the compiled file on both computers, let's check their IPv4 addresses, since I'll need to specify the IP address to send the messages to the target. For simplicity reason, I'd like to send the message from the Arch Linux system to the CLI Linux one. To do this, I first need to run the program on the CLI Linux system in the listener mode, which indicates that it is actively listening on port 12345. Then call the program in the sender mode in the Arch Linux system with the CLI Linux system's IPv4 address and the message with double quotes, which makes sure whatever typed inside belongs to one command line argument. Then I receive the message on the left hand side. Similarly, I can run the program in the listener mode on Arch Linux and the sender mode on CLI Linux. Although the program shows that the Arch Linux machine is actively listening on port 12345, the message doesn't show up. What's wrong? Here I need to diagnose the problem. Let's check the IPv4 firewall rules with root privileges, and show the selected chains in verbose mode with numeric IP addresses and port numbers. Here I only need to pay attention to the first few lines of the output. The first line, chain input policy drop, means if a packet does not match any rule in the input chain, it will be silently dropped. The following lines are rules in the input chain. Thus, it means that the packet I sent from the CLI Linux system to this computer is discarded. And the next step is to change the configuration to accept the packets. So let me use this iptables command line tool for firewall management for IPv4 again. Append the following rule to the input chain, which is accepting packets that match the conditions of using the UDP and destined for port 12345. Now, run the listener mode again on this computer, then send a message from the CLI Linux system. It works. Problem solved. One thing I need to mention is that the above modification of the kernel's live firewall rules is not saved automatically. In other words, when the system reboots, the kernel reloads with the original default rule set, and the manually added rules are lost. But since I never want to alter my firewall configuration, it's totally okay for me. Thus far I successfully test this command line messenger. However, because I've never encrypted the messages in the program, any of these packets intercepted by a third party, the messages are exposed. So starting from the next video, I'll dive deep into encryption. If you're interested in what's going to happen next, consider like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.